Do you want to know the best and worst commercial airline liveries in the United States right now? Hey, Citrus Aviation here, and I am a professional graphic designer, and today I'm going to rate all of the US commercial airline liveries from the perspective of a professional graphic designer. There are only 9 major US airlines, but we'll be including Silver Airways, as they are a fairly localized regional airline, but they're also fairly large, so we are going to include Silver Airways in this video. So with that being said, let's get started with ranking all US airline liveries, all 10 of them from worst to first. Let's go! What is up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here for another video, and today we're gonna do the top 10 best and worst liveries in the United States, starting from worst to first. Some notes I should give as we get started with this video here is that we are only gonna talk about current liveries. We're not gonna talk about older retro liveries, and we are also not going to talk about special liveries. The United States has so many special liveries for the airlines, and I'm gonna do some separate videos on that topic, ranking my favorite special liveries as well. In fact, there are so many I could do special liveries for each airline, a top 10. So we're just gonna do regular liveries in this video. And with that being said, let's get started. Alrighty, we're gonna start with the worst airline livery. Here at number 10, we have Spirit Airlines. Now, they are at the bottom because they are the least favorite of these liveries. Now, this should tell you that there's a lot of good liveries here. In fact, this is the only livery of the 10 that I do not like. All other 9 liveries are good. That's to tell you how good liveries here in the United States are for commercial airlines. So, what is my issue with the banana bus, as it is commonly referred to, because the Spirit livery kind of looks like a banana, and all the aircraft are Airbus aircraft. So that's why a lot of people call them the banana bus. There are a lot of other names people have for this livery as well, but I'm going to call it the banana bus for this purpose. Now, this livery used to be called officially the Bayfare livery. However, there was a change made in 2020 to simplify the livery, probably also to reduce cost. That's probably why they made this change. And they just go with the Spirit titles on the main fuselage like it used to be, but they removed all the slashes in it, and they also moved the slashes from the tail section where it says Spirit as well. Also, the engines now only say Spirit.com on the outside. Now, I'm not sure if they removed the Howdy from the inside of the engines. It's kind of hard to tell from pictures, but I'm not sure. Also, Spirit Airlines removed the cool stuff they had on the inside of the winglet. It said Howdy and then Spirit.com on the outside. And then on the engines, it used to say Home of the Bayfare, and now it just says Spirit.com. And most of the winglets are now blank. This definitely makes for a very boring livery. I'm not a big fan of it, mostly because it's just not as good as the old Spirit Airlines livery. That was the Bayfare one. I thought that was really cool and unique. This one is still cool and unique, but it looks a lot more corporate-like. It doesn't look as unique and interesting as the previous one. So therefore, I have put the new Spirit livery at the bottom. At number 9, we have Allegiant, and this is their current livery. It is a modification of the older livery that they had, and they made a couple of changes to it, and overall I like the changes they made to this livery. It looks really nice, and it looks a little bit unique compared to how most airlines, when they paint the tail section, they have the livery going from the tail section and it follows the curve of the tail section down into the fuselage. Whereas here, the rear of the fuselage kind of does the opposite slope, where it kind of slopes from the front of the aircraft down towards the back. I really like that. I think that's unique, something I haven't really seen any other airlines do, and I like that unique element for the design. It also kind of separates the aircraft into 2 sections, the front section, which is all white with blue accents, and then the rear of the aircraft, which is blue with yellow and orange accents. Really nice job by Allegiant on this livery. Now, why do I have it down all the way at number 9? I mean, there's got to be something that makes the other liveries on this list better. And that is that mostly this livery is still a Euro white livery. It's a really nice Euro white livery. In fact, I don't even know if I'd classify it as a Euro white, but a lot of the aircraft is still just a plain white. And therefore, it's not as high on my list, but I do think for what Allegiant is trying to go for, it is still a really nice livery. At number 8, we have a pick that I know is going to be very controversial, and that is American Airlines. Yes, I have American Airlines all the way down at number 8. Now, why did I do this? This is simply because American Airlines' current livery, while it is good, could be better in my opinion, and I don't think it's as good as the old livery. The chrome livery, which was really cool. That was kind of like American livery, which was created for the bicentennial of the United States in 1976. They were able to repaint all the aircraft before the bicentennial, and it was really cool livery. I do realize that it was aging, and because of newer aircraft technology with the carbon fibers and other composite materials, that painting aircraft with the bright shiny aluminum was not going to be possible. And so American Airlines decided to go with this new livery, and it also coincided with their merger with US Airways. So they went with this livery here, which is a standard gray aircraft. Now I say standard, but you know, not too many airlines use sort of just this kind of like shiny light gray color. So it's cool. I like it. That's different. It has the American Airlines billboard titles there in Helvetica. And we have this kind of really cool stylized flag on the back. Now this is actually my favorite portion of the livery. It's the stylized flag on the back. Now according to US flag code, you cannot just put the American flag on your brand. So you have to change in some way. And American Airlines did a really nice job here of kind of stylizing it with some gradients and some different shades. Really nice job by American Airlines to do it. You do see the American flag there in front of the registration, but that is required by law. You have to have the flag of the country and then the registration number next to it. Now I do know some guys who are watching this video who have American Airlines all the way up at number 1. But from a designer perspective, this isn't the most interesting livery. Therefore, I have it down at number 8. It is still a good livery, but it could be better. Next up, we move to number 7, and this is the regional carrier Silver Airways. They are an airline that serves smaller airports in the southeast of the United States. They are called Silver Airways, and they have this really cool current livery with the flamingo. It has like a flamingo peaches, like pink purpley color. It's a really unique color they really haven't seen really anywhere else. And they have a flamingo on the tail. It says silver in really big letters near the back. And then it has like a black swoosh underbelly with a bunch of silver elements, including the 3 circles up front. This is their current livery. It's a newer one they came up with when they got their first ATRs. And their older aircraft, the Saab 340s, still use the old livery. But I really do like this new livery. And I do think overall it is a nice upgrade from the old livery, even though I thought the old livery was great too. So this is a nice livery, and I really like the design of it. It's very unique. It really does remind me of the sort of livery you'd see South American Airlines do. And I think it's really cool, and therefore I have it here at number 7. So to tell you that the other liveries above this one are really good. I mean, if this livery is here at number 7, we've got some great liveries ahead. And with that, we move to number 6. Number 6 is a classic livery. This is the Southwest Airlines Heart livery. This is the livery they introduced in 2014 as the livery to replace their aging Canyon Blue livery. This one is really nice. It's got a blue belly with the large billboard titles, and we have a blue and yellow stripe going from the tail down to the fuselage. This is a fairly standard design element, but I do like kind of how unique it is with those silver pin stripes there. Really nicely done. Great job by Southwest Airlines to make this livery, which has in itself become iconic, which is really important because Southwest's previous 2 liveries were also very iconic liveries with the desert gold and the canyon blue. So this one looks great. I love the heart livery. Really nice job by Southwest Airlines. And I like how it is kind of bucking the your white trend, and instead it's like a blue trend, like a sky blue, and I think it's really cool. Great job by Southwest Airlines. This livery here is at number 6. I don't really have any complaints about it. which to tell you there are some liveries above it that I think are really, really good. This is just a list of really good liveries, and I have to rank them, and Southwest is at 6th. At number 5, we have Delta Airlines. A lot of people don't realize it, but this livery is 14 years old now, and it's the oldest livery of all currently active US airline liveries. The second oldest livery is the American Airlines livery, which goes back to 2013. So this livery is an additional 6 years older than that. So that to tell you how long this livery has been around for. Now it has been updated over time. In 2014, Delta Airlines started putting the Delta logo on the underbelly of the aircraft right around the wing root. And in 2017, they started adding the Delta widget to the A350s. And I would really love to see if they add the widget to more aircraft. But at least for now, they're not going to do that. So they have updated the livery a little bit over time, and they've sort of kept it relevant. This is really just a classic livery. It takes Delta's classic widget and put it on the tail in a new style. The aircraft is white. It is a Your White livery, but it looks really good. It's got this really nice purple color, which kind of signs a blue color. So it's one of those like tri-coat metallic paints, which has a color in the darker lighting, but then in bright sunlight, it reflects a slightly different shade, which is really cool. The purple underbelly is really nice with that sort of swoop. It just is a really nice upscale looking livery, which has helped Delta's image of being a higher end airline, particularly here in the United States, quite a bit. And I do like it, and it's all the way up at number 5 for me. At number 4, we have the Alaska Airlines livery. This one was introduced in 2016. It is basically a new color palette to the old livery, with a few extra elements added in. This is a Your White livery technically, but it has a lot of great elements added to it. So on the tail section, you can see it now has this navy blue color with the Alaskan Eskimo there and some colors around it. And then you just got all these little like hints of a medium blue, a light green. You got like a tannish color. It's really nice, and there's a lot of color throughout the livery, and there's just no empty spaces. Like, it's really well designed from a graphic designer perspective. This is a really nice use of all the design elements. And as a Your White, this is how you should do a Your White livery. Right here, really well done. It just looks very pleasing to look at, well balanced. There's not too much dead space, but also it's not way overcomplicated, and it's just not too much, which is good. Great job by Alaska Airlines, and I think they're going to keep this livery for a really long time. Coming in at number 3, we have the second newest livery on this list. We got the United Airlines new livery. This is called the Evo Globe livery, and it replaces their aging Continental Modular livery. And that livery was perhaps one of the laziest redesigned liveries of all time. In fact, I'm going to call it the laziest redesigned livery of all time. We just took the Continental livery, slapped United titles over the Continental titles, and called it a day. That was a really boring livery, and they were due for redesign for a while. Now what they did with this livery is they essentially took a version of that Continental livery that they made for the 787s, which had a modified version of that livery for swoop. As you can see on this livery, there's a little bit of a swoop with the underbelly there. What kind of goes up, goes down, that goes back up towards the tail section. And they had that on the 787s. And basically what they did is they took that livery and put blue over all the gold areas. And they have several shades of blue here, as you can see, go from a medium to a light blue. They made the titles, billboard titles, United Helvetica, that is Helvetica Bold, in giant billboard titles. And then the underbelly is about the same kind of grayish color that it was before. So this is a really nice redesign, and they also didn't overthink it, which I really like as well. Also, the nice little like cheat line there is a kind of a deep blue, almost a purple color. So really nice job. I like this livery. I know that some people don't, but I really like this redesign. I think it was a good job by United to sort of keep the branding that they've had for a while still yet doing a proper job with delivery. This really is the livery they sort of introduced in 2010 or 11 when the merger happened. But we do finally get it, and I'm glad that's here. At number 2, we have JetBlue. JetBlue is one of those airlines which has a really unique livery system. Now, most airlines have one livery they paint on all the aircraft, and then maybe they have some specials. JetBlue does it a little bit differently, where they have their standard livery, except each aircraft has a unique name, which is written underneath the cockpit windows, and then they have a tail, which is sailed with maybe around 20 to 30 aircraft sail that same tail. And then each aircraft type tends to have a unique tail just for the aircraft type. And then those aircraft types might have multiple unique tails. So it's one of those things where if you're a plane spotter and you go spotting a JetBlue aircraft, you might want to see multiples of that aircraft because you want to see the different tail designs, all the different names up front. And it really makes JetBlue's livery really unique. First off, it is a yellow white livery, but it's a pretty decent design. Got the JetBlue billboard titles, which I find very interesting that the J for jet is lowercase. I think that's really unique design element. And then it's got blue engines with jetblue.com on them. It's got blue winglets. It's fairly standard yellow white livery until you get to the tail section. And they have a lot of different designs for tails. They've had about 20 or so tail designs over the years, which is really cool. And this is just a nice livery. It's just really cool to see which JetBlue tail is flying into your airport. And I think it's one of the coolest designs right now. And so I currently have this at number 2 just because I love all the different tails you can possibly see for JetBlue. And they keep coming out with new ones as they get new aircraft. And we're looking forward to seeing more of them. So if JetBlue is at number 2 with their really unique elements, what do I have as the number 1 airline livery? And at number 1, I have picked Frontier Airlines. This is an airline that for a long time has had a really unique paint scheme. And the unique element of the airline that really sets this livery apart from all other airline liveries is they do a different animal on every single aircraft. Not a single aircraft sails the same animal portrait on the tail. Now, back in the day, like about 15 years ago, Frontier Airlines called their airline a whole different animal, and they started doing these unique art designs for the tail section where they put a different animal on each tail design. And in 2014, they introduced this livery, which is their new livery. Well, I guess not so new anymore, but it was new back then. And it has these really nice Frontier titles with the unique F there, which I really like. It's got a blue arrow below it. It's got green engines with blue section on the rear cowling. It's got blue winglets with on many of the aircraft, the inside of the blue winglet has the portrait on the tail on the winglet, which is really cool. And then the really unique element is the portrait, which is on the entire rear section of the fuselage. And it's really cool how Frontier does this, and it's unique for every single aircraft. As I said, not a single Frontier aircraft sails the same portrait. I believe there are a couple of animals that are on different aircraft, like some of the A320neos have some of the animals that are on some of the old, now retired A320s. But even when they bring that same animal to new aircraft, they change the portrait, which makes it really cool. They do this really unique art for the aircraft, which I really like. It looks so realistic, so cute. I love it, and it's why I have the Frontier Airlines livery as the number 1 livery in the United States. And so those are my picks for the top liveries in the United States for airlines. What are your picks? Put them down in the comments below. I'm so we can have a great discussion. We'll talk about our favorite US airline liveries. And if you want to see more of these videos, subscribe for more content like this. And I will be having more aviation top 10s, including top 10 special US airline liveries. We'll do top 10 liveries for other places as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless you.